Spring roll is one of my favorite Asian food appetizers. Since I stopped having deep fried foods and needed to cut soy sauce in my diet, this is my hack to tasty, easy, and healthier spring rolls. To have spring rolls baked in the oven, cook with anti-inflammatory superfood, which are ginger and garlic, and season with soy sauce substitute. A bonus for this recipe is you can skip the folding steps by making them into cups. Let's get started. First, you need to slice the vegetables into thin strips. These are vegetables that you need. For cabbage, I'm using about a quarter of the cabbage. Divide them into shorter parts before you slice them thin. You want to make them thin but not very long so it fits the cup nicely. Moving on to carrot. Cut them into julienne. I'm just going to slice them with a slicer first to get this thin slice before I cut them into thin strips. Set it aside. For shiitake mushrooms, I remove the leg first and cut them into 4 parts before I slice them thin. For coriander and spring onion, I'm going to cut them together, but first fold them as short as you can and slice them thin. Next, our natural flavoring, ginger and garlic. Grate them with a grater to get a fine paste texture. Alternatively, you can chop them thin, but grating helps to spread the flavor better. Now let's start cooking. Here I'm using non-stick medium pan, which I suggest you to use it since we are cooking with less oil. For the rest of the ingredients, check the recipe in the description below. Add 1 tablespoon of oil, I'm using olive oil, and add the minced chicken in. For a vegan option, you may skip this part. Let the chicken sear and give them a continuous stir. Season with a pinch of salt and continue stirring until they are no longer pink. Now add garlic and ginger. Make sure the heat is on low to medium because the finely grated ginger and garlic are easier to burn. I'm just gonna stir it until it makes a nice fragrance. And add the vegetable in. I'll keep the greens last since they don't need so long to cook. Add pure sesame oil, white pepper, and coconut amino as a substitute for soy sauce. This sauce is much lower in sodium compared to soy sauce. And pink salt. Keep stirring until the vegetables are soft. And add the spring onions and coriander in. Stir them for the last time to mix for about 1 minute and turn off the heat. Let's move on to the cups. Here I have the spring roll skin, or you might call it filo pastry. Since they're prone to stick to each other, make sure you pull the sheet gently when separating them. And because the sheets are too big for my cupcake pan, I'm dividing them into 4 parts by cutting them with a knife. Bringing in the cupcake pan. I'm using 24 holes mini cupcake pan for this recipe. To me, it gives a perfect bite size for the cups. Lay the sheet on top of the pan hole and use your fingers to make it into a cup. It doesn't have to be perfect, just to make sure there's a clear path for the filling to go in. Once you finish with the filo sheets, gently scoop the filling into the cup. I use about 1 heaping of teaspoon per cup for each scoop. Now it's ready to go in the oven. Cook it in a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes or until the skin turns slightly brown. That is when it gives the top skins a perfect crunchy texture. There you have it. Garnish with chopped spring onion for the finishing touch. And serve this with sweet garlic Thai sauce. Trust me, it's a perfect sauce for the spring roll. I suggest enjoying the spring rolls cup immediately while they're still crunchy. Hit the like button below if you enjoy this recipe. Till next time!